Pull up to the pregame. Yeah, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Hey, hey. Pull up to the pregame. Yeah, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Hey, hey. Catch a vibe coming.
Hey, yo, chat. Welcome back to another episode of the Pregame Podcast. We lit, we live, and while y'all edit, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's Thursday, and we back for another episode of Pregame Podcast. Can you believe that July is almost over? It felt like I blinked and it was July 1st, and then I blinked one more time and July is almost over. It's pretty wild. But you know, I get excited around July, one, because my grandparents always come down from Michigan. That's the hometown. Shout out to my people in Michigan. So they always come down to Charlotte to visit the fam, but then also it's the start of training camp. Y'all, we are back. Y'all, training camp, football. Football is back, y'all, and I'm super excited to talk all things Panthers tonight. But also, you know, if you've been to the Pregame Podcast, we don't talk about just the Panthers. This is not a Panther podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about the fusion of sports and pop culture. So we're going to talk about a little bit of everything, and you know we always going to keep it 100, all right? So if you're new to the Pregame, welcome. If you're not new, what up, gang? Welcome back.
Hey, say gang.
Welcome back. All right. So here at the Pregame Podcast, we always start off with what you're pulling up with. If you ever been to a pregame, you already know you never come empty-handed. But here at the Pregame Podcast, all we really want to know is what you pulling up with, right? What's your vibe? What kind of energy are you pulling up with? What was your week like? All right. So shout out to my dog, Everyday Gaming. He was already on it from the jump, like right when we went live, right when we was playing the pre-show. My man jumped in, was like, yo, hit that like button and subscribe. What y'all pulling up with to the pregame? You know what I'm saying? What y'all pulling to the pregame with? Let's get it. Shout out to my dog, Everyday Gaming 98. Bro, he's always in here, man. I haven't seen you in a minute on the live, man. You probably been busy, but I appreciate you pulling up to the pregame. And like he said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Look, this is the community, and we're only gonna grow if y'all here rocking with us, you know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tell people to pull up to the pregame. We got a lot, bro. When I tell you, we got a lot of stuff in the works, bro. We got a lot of stuff in the works. So make sure y'all continue to do that and spread the word. So shout out to my dog. Real quick, man. Shout out to my pops, man. He pulling up. I appreciate it. He telling y'all to like, comment, subscribe. Olivia, what up? What up with you? Good to see you. Oh, man, my dog, bro. Hold on, time out. Since my boy in here, yo, if you have not got a chance to look, this is the first time we ever did something. I've been wanting to do this for the longest, y'all. I've been wanting to do a full album review because if y'all know me, I played a lot of different music, and y'all know my music taste is all over the place, which I love, but we're able to do a clips, let God sort them out, full album review with my dog, John from One Carolina, and my boy, my brother, my homie, Chaz. So make sure y'all, and I'm talking about my real brother, that's my blood brother, right? That's the one who did, I see somebody talking about that intro. Appreciate you. My brother made that intro. My brother's an artist. He made that intro. So shout out to my boy, Chaz. He is on all music platforms. So Apple Music, Spotify, however you want to listen to it, he's on there. Make sure y'all go check out his music. So he made that intro for me. And yeah, so we did a full album review. It's on the page. It was lit. And John cooked. Chaz has so much contextual knowledge. It was so dope. Make sure y'all go pay attention to that. We might have to run another one. If another album come out, we might have to run another one. I ain't gonna hold you. So shout out to my boys, man, John and Chaz. I appreciate y'all pulling up to the pregame. Everyday Gaming said, man, yeah, I've been busy. My son's birthday was at the end of June and July. Been super busy. I feel you on that. I'm glad I'm back and I've caught up on the lives though. Hey, bro, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate, and I still need to get your information because I owe you a Dad Gang hat. I ain't forget. We talked about it. I owe you a Dad Gang hat. So make sure you hit me up so I can get your information so I can send that to you, bro. I owe you one. So I didn't forget. Just know I didn't forget. Appreciate you, man. He said the review was fire, bro. It was lit. It was lit. It was so much fun, bro. It was, bro. We've got a lot of rave reviews. People have messaged me and was like, "Yo, this is fire." So I hope that it was. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you pass it along to somebody who loves music too. All right. So quick little news before we get started. I know you're probably wondering where's Shad, where's Vashti. They'll be here, not today, but it's a lot going on. So let's start with Vashti first, right? So Vashti, if y'all haven't been paying attention, Vashti's been, bruh, Vashti's been cooking in terms of the information for training camp. So if you know training camp started, Vashti, she runs Carolina Blitz. She is the founder, the owner, the editor in chief of Carolina Blitz. So she's been everywhere. And she's doing ACC things. So Bill Belichick and everything that's going on with him, all those different things. And then also with um Panthers, right? So she's everywhere. So she's extremely busy right now. So I was like, look, whenever you can get in, it's fine. But I know you busy. So make sure y'all subscribe to Quick Blitz so you can hear some real in-depth Panther stuff. Oh my God, bro. I'm just looking at the screen behind me. It said Monday. So I use this screen for my job too. And I just noticed it said Monday. It is not Monday, y'all. Pardon me. Let me fix that. I don't like that. Let me fix that real quick. Boom. Uh, let's see. Sorry, y'all. Look, I'm big on details, and I just noticed that, and I was like, "Yo, fix that." Boop. There it is, just like that. Shout out to technology. Um, yeah, so she's extremely busy, so she'll be in and out. Sometimes that she'll be able to join until like maybe like October ish. It'll be times that she'll be able to join. Sometimes that she may not be able to join. We're gonna do a lot of like different interviews. I'm trying to line up some interviews and everything. When we do like interviews, she will be on with that if her schedule permits. Shad has been dumb busy. If you watched the PNP live yesterday, he'll be with us next week. Hey Ricky, my bad, bro. My bad. Look, I caught it and I was like, yo, that's crazy. Usually, like, look, y'all can hear a little personal stuff. So I work from home Mondays and Fridays. I go into the office Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And so on Mondays and Fridays, I usually have like some funny little thing on my signs whenever I'm in meetings. So yeah, that's why I had it Monday because your boy been in the office, so I haven't used it. So I ain't trying to take you back to Monday, bro. I promise. But shout out to my dog Ricky and Panthers on Tap. Yo, first off, shout out to Panthers on Tap hitting 1,000 subscribers. Okay. First off, they have been a long running podcast on like Apple Podcasts, whatever. And just this year, they're like, hey, let's pull up a YouTube. Let's do a YouTube. And like so fast they hit 1,000 subscribers, bro. It was so inspiring. It gave me motivation to continue to keep going, bro. So shout out to y'all for hitting 1,000. Shout out to the new to the new logo and then also a new video, bro. Ricky over there cooking, Curtis, Bryson, yo, shout out to y'all. We gotta bring them on the show, all three of them one day. It'd be fire. I think it'd be a really good show, really good show. So shout out to y'all, man. All right, so yeah, so Shad has been extremely busy, and he will be back next week. Next Thursday, my guy will be in the building. So for right now, it's just me, but it's okay. You know, we're gonna cook. We're gonna have a good time. Yo, I got so much for y'all today. I usually try to keep it to an hour, but tonight, I said this last time too. Tonight, I don't know if I can keep it to an hour. We're gonna try to, but I got a lot. But we're gonna have some fun tonight. All right. I said on Twitter, it's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be fun tonight, all right? And I ain't gonna hold you. Some Kool-Aid might get poured. Hey, you ain't hear from me. Some Kool-Aid might get poured. So y'all might want to stay tuned. Also, I got two big announcements, not announcements, but I got some call-outs I want to do, and I'm gonna clip these call-outs later, and then post them on Twitter. And I'm gonna need y'all's help to make this go viral. But I got this crazy idea for the Panthers, and I need them to do it. And the only way it's gonna happen is if y'all help me with that. So I'm gonna need y'all help on that. All right. So let me sip my water real quick, and let's get into it. You know we gonna y'all. All right. Look, Throw in the chat if you know what you about to start off with. If you a pregame day oneer, day one, I made up a word. A pregame day oneer, you already know what we about to do next. So go ahead and throw in the chat. What we about to do? What we about to do? If you a pregame one, I look, we ain't gonna move until I see it. If you a pregame day oneer, if you pregame gang,
Hey, say gang.
you already know what we about to do next. You already know. I'm waiting. Yep, there it is. We about to react. You already know. We about to react. All right, so I got a whole bunch of different videos that have gone viral that we all gonna react to. Shout out to shout out to y'all, man. So we gonna react to the pregame. We're gonna react to some videos. So let me go ahead. Oh, that's a good one. So I do have a starting lineup cooked up. Y'all let me know if y'all want to do it or not. We're gonna react to some videos real quick. But we didn't do it last week. I said we are gonna do it, but time didn't permit. But I got the top 5 fast food fries. That's the starting lineup. Top 5 fast food fries. Y'all throw in the chat as we're reacting tonight. Y'all throw it in the chat and let me know if y'all want to do it. All right, top 5 fast food fries. That's what we got. All right, so here we go. The first one I got is a video. I think this was in I think it was China, but it was a older. We talked about the old OG baller basketball player last about 2 weeks ago with Vashti, and this dude was balling, y'all. We were like, yo, look, bruh, when it comes to basketball, like football has an expiration date, right? You can only play football for so long, but basketball, bro, like basketball doesn't have an expiration date. LeBron James is showing it, but from like not even a pickup ball perspective, bro, you can play as long as you want. And that dude was cooking. But I saw this particular video, and I want to play it, and y'all let me know which professional NBA player, this person is not playing anymore, does this remind you of? He has really tried to carbon copy himself in terms of the movement and things that he was doing. Check this out. I'm gonna cut off the music. The music just don't hit. But look at this. Oh my god, a step back. Oof. Yo, who is that? Who does he look like? I mean, come here. Hey, ooh. Hey. Dude's cooking. Come here. Look like me out there. Look like me out there. Hey, first, that was kind of weird to pause it where it was. But who do he look like? I'm gonna play it again while we waiting. If this don't like, he got the shoes on already. He got the Kobe's, right? But like the footwork and everything, bro. And he looked like he just got off work. Like he had a polo on and some slacks and some Kobe's and putting in pain, bro. Putting in pain. Come here. Look, that right there. This move right here. Run that film back.
Run that back, Turbo.
This right here. This step back. That form right there. The side jumper right there. Screams Kobe Bryant, bro. Screams Kobe. Come here. Screams Kobe, bro. This man is in slacks, y'all. Come here. Look, all I'm saying, and the reason I want to show that too, one, shout out to my dog Kobe. You know what I'm saying? If you new here to the pregame, I am a Kobe fan. If you're not new here, you a pregame gang, you already know how I feel about Kobe. But to see that, and I think it's really dope that, we talked about this before with like some OG ball, like the OG baller I showed a couple weeks ago. It's like, yo, it's so dope when you see older people like really still living out their dream, whatever it may be, right? Whether it's music, whether it's sports, whatever, right? And to see him, like, bro, you can tell he probably just got off work. He got the polo on, he got the slacks. He wanted to make sure his shirt was tucked in so you could see the belt. And then he got the Kobe's on, bro, and putting in pain, bro. I thought it was so dope to witness, man. I was shocked when I saw that, bro. I don't know about y'all, but I was shocked when I saw that. Hey, somebody said he looked like Gordon Hayward. That's funny, bro. Bro, Gordon Hayward. Hey, he was putting in work. And if you remember Gordon Hayward before he got to Charlotte, Gore was straight. Gore was straight. Then he got that big check and he kind of chilled out. But Gore, look, people be tripping on Gordon Hayward was a baller, bro. He was a bucket at one point. He was definitely a bucket at one point. Okay. So Ricky said he was thinking Kobe or Tatum. A lot of Tatum game tips. Yeah, very, very true. Tatum's game definitely tips the hat to Kobe for sure. I think it was definitely Kobe, especially that side shot and Tatum's shot. Like it's so like his setup is so slow. And his side, like he be over here with it, but it's so slow. That's why he has to step back and get that room. He's so tall that it works for him. But like the pivots and everything definitely scream Kobe to me. But like you said, his Tatum's game tips the hat to Kobe for sure. I completely agree with you. All right, so let's get into another video. Y'all probably already saw this, but if y'all did not see the flag football championship this past weekend, it was absolutely incredible. And this was probably the catch of the whole tournament. Low key might be the catch of the year unless we see something in the NFL. Let's check it out.
This is just a jump ball from Dalton Motes. Watch the catch. Oh my God. And to complete the route through the contact even before that.
That is the end of the
That is truly unbelievable.
Yo, that is crazy. So if you did not see this, right? This young man, he goes by the name of Bryson Wright from Florida. He is 14 years old, y'all, and stands tall at a 6'4", 215 pounds, bro. At 14. At 14 years old, he is 6'4", 214. I saw a lot of people in the comments, and then also shout out to Princey Uman Yellen, who streams on Twitch, and I've talked I've been in his Twitch, whatever. And he was like, yo, what size of the ball is that? This, that, and the third. I hear you, bro. At the end of the day, I don't care what size the ball is. He's 14. That is an incredible catch, right? And as I was watching this was the semifinals. This wasn't even the actual championship. By the way, his team did win the championship. They were unstoppable. But as you can see, like how bigger he is from every other player that is on that field. Like low key, bro, if you can look at the film,
Run that back, Turbo.
number 2 right here tried to get him off his route. And he tried to bump him in. Yo, your mans didn't even move, bro. Look, he didn't even move. He tried to bump him. He didn't move. He did not move. Insane catch. And I think the dopest thing about Bryson is not even just what he does on the field, but how he acts off the field. Like he was so humble, very low key. And in the spirit of NIL deals, and if you ever want to know anything about NIL deals and all that stuff, like make sure you go check out our interview with Nashad Davis. He's a sports agent for Wasserman, who he is coming back for another interview. We're just setting up the time. So the other interview is coming. But he talked about NIL deals and how he has to truly start at such a young age to make sure that he gets the players like Bryson, basically. They said that Bryson has 30 NIL offers right now. We're not even talking about schools, because he probably got schools up the wazoo. But he has 30 NIL offers right now at 14. At 14. That's insane. This man, bro, he has 4 years before he even touches, maybe 3, depending on when his birthday is, before he touches a college football field. But at 14, doing things like that, the sky's the limit. And we're starting to see a lot, like, bro, like as generations come and come and come, like as the physical athleticism is increasing. We're seeing that with Jeremiah Smith, bro. Like the way that he looked at Ohio State as a freshman, he looked NFL ready last year. And now we're seeing all these players, and this is God given. They say, I don't want to use that G word of generational talent. You know what I'm saying? But when you're seeing these once in a generation type of players, it's insane to witness. And now the fact that NIL is around, we're starting to see these players get paid early and often. And it's gonna be very, very interesting to see if that's going to be a positive impact in terms of NIL or in the NFL, or will it be a negative impact in terms of players wanting to stay to make as much money as possible before they go to NFL? We've seen both. The pendulum swings, you know what I'm saying? For both things. So it's kind of early to say what we think is going to happen. But I thought it was dope, man, to see Bryson. Shout out to him and his team. And you know the crazy part about it, he was a star. He was the star of the team. But bro, it was a lot of good players on that Florida team, man. And a lot of good talent comes from Florida, y'all. Especially when you're talking about that speed. This man was 6'4", 215 running past people. You know what I'm saying? Like the man, he was no joke. He was no joke. Shout out to my dog John. He said the interview was fire. Too low on your boys for hey yo first. Hey, he was definitely fresh, dog. He had that kid thought he was fresh. I was like, I called him out too because I went to school with him and he pulled up for an interview and I was like, oh, not you trying to show out? Like literally, you couldn't see his shoes and all that stuff, but the dog would. Hey, he was fresh. He was fresh. But I appreciate you pulling up on that in that interview. Ricky, he said he's got the 5-figure trading. Bro, what? I did not know that. He's got the 5-figure trading card NIL deal already at 14. Similar value to an NFL first round pick. That's at 14, yo. At 14. That's insane. Shout out to my pops. He said University of Florida extended an offer to him before his freshman season. Hey, that's bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. Like at first, I wish like when I was talking to Nashad off camera too, and he was talking about like, yo, I'm going to some middle school games to recruit players, and I was looking at him like, did you say middle? You didn't sound high school. You talking about middle school? And he was like, yo, you have to start early. Like the way that these players and these kids are these days, and the type of leagues they're in, whether it be basketball, AAU, whatever, like they're starting younger and younger. You have to start early, and I think it's insane to see all these things happen. Like it would like I would have never expected like me playing sports at a young age that like people be coming to me and saying, "Hey, can you sign this deal?" Like, could you imagine back in my time, your time, whatever your time is? Man, that's insane. But shout out to Bryson Wright. His fandom has increased tremendously. He's gained like over 100 something plus thousand followers on Instagram and everything. And I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. What he's gonna do moving forward. Like I said, humble kid. And I hope that he's gonna continue to do well. He stays healthy, man. Sky's the limit for him. But he was cooking. He was absolutely cooking. Speaking of people who were cooking, this is not cooking. I don't know if y'all saw this. This was just went viral maybe like an hour or two ago, and I was like, I have to mention this. I have to talk about this. But maybe a month or two ago, Savannah Bananas came to Bank of America Stadium. They had Luke Kuechly out there, Greg Olson, Jonathan Stewart. Like it seemed like a vibe. I didn't get it. I wanted to go, but then again, I wasn't sure. I'm not a huge baseball fan. But it seemed like it was a good time, right? It seemed like a good time. But they've been going like this on this world tour, if you will. And one of the players went on CNN. And usually when they go to like a news station, because they went to WSOC here in Charlotte, and they usually like to do like different tricks and stuff live. Now, here's the thing when you're doing something live, like, bro, you only get one shot. You know what I'm saying? Do not miss a chance to blow. Shout out to Eminem. You only get one shot, bro. Like you're live. You know what I'm saying? And this person tried to do a backflip. Let's check and see how he did.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
What you just saw there is a brand new twist on America's favorite pastime.
Hey. Bro, hold on. We gotta run that back. Bro, what? It's the fact that right before he did the backflip, you could tell that they did not prepare for whatever he was about to do. The lady on CNN said, "Oh Jesus." When you say something like that, it's like you did not say, "Hey, I'm going to do a backflip. I'm going to do some type of trick." This was not prepared. My man was feeling himself. He was on CNN. He was on national news, y'all. And my biggest thing is like, all right, you got to make sure you got the right attire to do these particular things. And with it, like he got the joggers on, the shoes, the shirt. I don't know if it made sense for him to do it. I don't know, bro. But she said, "Oh Jesus,
Oh, Jesus.
God."
That what you just saw.
And then he said that never happened. So at first, y'all, I saw this clip and I was like, nah. We live in a time. We live in a time, and it's unfortunate, bro. But we live in a time right now where you have to kind of fact check whether it's AI or whether it's not. And it sucks. It sucks that we live in this world, but that's where we are right now. And so at first, when I saw this clip, and I was like, the way that he like, let me bring the volume down so I can run it back and review this film.
Run that back, Turbo.
So the way that like he fell, I was like, this looks like AI, right? Because he did the jump, right? And it looks like he's gonna clear it, right? It's out of nowhere, he just stops. Like it looks like he's gonna clear it. He just stops and just like the way he landed, I was like, why did he land like that? Like you're literally landing out like this. Your face, like the the motion. We always know we've all been to school. We understand how gravity works. What goes up must come down. And the fact that you are lifting out like this, like you're lifting your hands towards Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Praise him, Savannah Bananas. But like your head is literally gonna drop and hit the floor. And so when I saw that, I was like, AI, that has to be fake, right? Bruh, the fact that it didn't and he hit, like and the only reason I'm showing it right now is because I did my Googles, right? I did my Googles. And bruh, the fact hey yo, shout out to Everyday Gaming, bruh. He said look, they cut the camera bruh. Immediately, bruh. Immediately they cut the camera, bruh. And the fact that he was like, yo, that never happens, right? So this is a good question. What's funnier? The face plant or the echo in the studio? Bro, I think it's both. I think it's both, bro. I think it's both, man. It was that, and then that never happens. Well, it happened today, sir. It happened today. It happened. And the reason I'm showing it because I was like, yo, this can't be real. But he posted another video. His lip, bro. His lip is busted. And then he said, y'all have the permission to make fun of me. And when I saw that, I was like, yo, it's real. I said, it's real. It's absolutely real. Hey, he lost a shoe. I didn't even see his shoe. All I saw was his head bouncing, bro. Let me see. He lost a shoe too. Oh, shoot. Hey, he lost a shoe, bro. How you, bro? He lost a shoe. Yo, that is funny. Look at that. The shoe way over, bro. That is funny. That is funny, yo. Hey, shout out to Savannah Bananas. What they do is pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going like I'm making jokes or whatever, but what they do is pretty fire. So shout out to y'all, man. But that right there, bruh, if that was one of my friends, I'm all up in the group chat. I am all up in the group chat. You're gonna hear from me, okay? You're gonna hear from me. You ain't gonna like it, but you're gonna hear from me if I'm one of your friends, bro. But look, man, you live to tell the tale. It wasn't as bad, but bro, they cut to that next camera quick, and the fact that they cut it so fast that the other anchor was not prepared to like her fate, bro. That you could tell they were not aware that he was going to try some type of try some type of exercise or backflip, whatever he tried to do. It was nasty. All right, so let's get into something else that's nasty. This is fire, bro. I ain't even gonna talk. I'm just gonna watch it and we're gonna talk about it. All right. Ooh, ooh. Bruh, bruh? Look, man, if you this is straight pickup basketball, and I appreciate pickup basketball. I love basketball. This jelly lay is probably absolutely ridiculous. And if you ever see anybody do anything like this, then you understand that you gotta make the nasty stank face for this, bro. All right, for multiple reasons. One, he ISO'd old boy, right? ISO'd old boy, crossed him up. He fell, touched earth, came back, switched hands with the behind under the rim lay from the top of the backboard. I don't think, like, y'all may think like this ain't nothing, but that's not easy, bro. And the fact that he was able to do that and made it seem like it was nothing, bro, absolute fire, bro. Yo, I don't know who this guy is, where it is. I just saw this on social media and I said, yo, this is nasty, bro. You made old boy touch earth. And the bad part about it is people forgot that old boy almost fell because the lay was so nasty. Everybody was looking at the layup and the finish, right? The Kyrie-esque finish. But everybody forgetting that old boy touch earth, bro. So he said you got to fake an injury. All right. So here's my question to y'all. We've talked about which, like, you know, this or that before. Say that he jumped up and dunked that right there. Would you rather get crossed up and touch earth like old boy, or would you rather get dunked on right here? What would y'all do? Y'all got 5 seconds. All right, for me, I gotta touch earth, bro. You're not dunking on me, bro. You're not dunking on me. I gotta touch earth. I gotta touch earth. But I'd rather get crossed up than get dunked on, bro. Dunked on is just like, bro, it's so my pride won't let me, bro. That's one thing I can say, bro. Right, as of right now, as long as I've been living, I have not been dunked on. I've been crossed up where I'm like, whoa, I'm going left, you going right. You know what I'm saying? That happens to the best of us, bro. Michael Jordan been dunked on. But Michael Jordan been crossed up, excuse me. But getting dunked on, bro, nah, fam, I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh yeah, you gotta say it. Look, I'm gonna say I slipped. You gotta say something like that, bro. You gotta be like, yo, why is it wet over here, cuz? Like, why is it wet over here, bro? Like, you gotta say something like that. You know what I'm saying? But getting dunked on, what you gonna say? Why you? No, that's just pure athleticism. He timed it better than you. You got dunked on, bro. Look, I can't do it. I can't do it, y'all. I can't do it. I'm sorry. So that's just me. I'm getting crossed up. And I see a lot of people saying the same thing. All right. So let's see. Where do we go next? Where I want to go. Okay. I'll say this. Actually, no, I'm gonna save that for the later stuff. All right, let's get into some content. First off, first thing I want to do is I haven't done this in a while, and this is dope people doing dope things, right? It's a fan favorite. People love dope people doing dope things. This is an opportunity for me to really just shout out people in the community that are doing dope things, right? And so let's get into the first one. All right. So the first one I want to do is actually it ain't the first one. It's just one. But if y'all remember, I talked about it earlier in the live in the pod about the album review that John and Chaz and I did, right? Let God Sort Them Out clips, right? So I went to school with this gentleman. He's an artist, right? And his story is phenomenal, yo. Like, so much so that I low key might need to do an interview with him. Like, I might need to do an interview with him because to hear his story and how he even got to painting is like literally like goosebumps, y'all. So I may need to do that. I might reach out to him. Either way, his name is Justin Surgeon, aka Surge, and he's an artist. He's painted art for people like the Baby, Dwight Howard, Lethal Shooter, like a whole bunch of really dope people. And he did a picture for Clips, which I thought was absolutely fire. So if you know, the name of their album is Let God Sort Them Out, but this art is called Let God Sort the Sinners Out. So he basically painted Clips, Pusha T, and Malice as Smoke and Stack from Sinners. You know what I'm saying? And I thought this was so gas, right? Surge is so dope. And I was like, yo, like I hope that they see this. I hope that they pick it up or sign it or put it in their house. But I thought this was so dope, bro, to put two really dope pieces of art by way of movie and album together. Call it Let God Sort the Sinners Out. You know what I'm saying? Even though Smoke and Stack were twins, but they were brothers, and so were Pusha T and Malice. And I thought that was really dope to put those things together. So I saw this like today, and I was like, oh my God, like this is absolutely fire. And if they don't get it, shoot, look, I'm gonna have to buy it for my house because I thought this was really, really dope, man. Like to be able to put two things what took over, like these things took over 2025 as of right now, right? The movie, the album, and to put those two things together in a very unique, dope way, gas, absolute fire, man. So shout out to Surge, man. W's in the chat for Surge. I thought that was absolutely dope. And I hope he continues to keep killing it, man. So it was fire. I got a chance to see him last Saturday for Lloyd Visuals, who's another one of my guys, Khalil. They celebrate their 1 year of opening up their studio. So they had a community black party. So me and a fan went out there. It was absolutely incredible, man. So shout out to everything that they're doing. All right, so let's get into some other content. Are y'all look? Hornets won the Summer League championship. Was that if that was on your bingo card? Then I look like my boy Dunk said. Well, I need the numbers so I can play the Powerball because the Hornets winning the Summer League championship was not in my bingo card. Not in the cards, bro. But shout out to Con Knipple. Shout out to KJ Simpson. Shout out to all the different players, man. William McNeely. All those players won. And you know what I'm saying? Like, look, and I know Shot and Vashti are going to say something about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Lakers fan, but I'm going to still root for the home team. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them for winning. And a lot of people are saying, well, what does this mean? Right? This don't mean nothing because it's not the actual season. Well, here's my take. One thing I would say is winning is contagious, right? Whether it's in the summer league, whether it's whatever, right? Once you get the appetite for winning and knowing what it feels like to be in those big games, like granted it's summer league, but it's still a championship, right? They get some summer league ring, cool. But you get addicted to that feeling of being on top, of winning, of understanding how to play as a team in clutch situations. Now, granted, this is not the actual team. These are the young guys, people who are trying to make the team. But the reason I think it's going to be really good for the Hornets is the fact that these rookies, these second-year players, have a taste of what it feels like to win, and they're going to come in with that mindset, that vigor, that feeling into the locker room to say, hey, look, like, I want that feeling again. You want to chase that again. I think that's what separates the goods from the greats, right? The good people, the good players are, hey, I've seen the mountaintop. It was cool. And I'm not saying the summer league is the mountaintop. I'm talking about like real championships. I've seen the mountaintop. I felt it. I'm good. Like I got my one ring. I got my one trophy. I'm good. And the greats, the elites are like, I'm chasing that feeling again. I'm never satisfied, right? And so my hope is that you start to get that feeling of like, hey, I felt it. I'm not satisfied. I want that feeling again. And so hopefully that's contagious in the locker room. That's why I said winning is contagious. But shout out to them, man. Like I thought it was really dope. I saw a lot in Con Knipple, who, like he said it. I didn't have to say it. He said that KJ Simpson, if this was not just based on one game, should have won MVP because KJ was cooking the whole summer league. But they're gonna pick the summer league MVP based off of that game, and Con Knipple was cooking. Either way, I'm excited to see what they're going to do this year. My hope is that they have a way better season than they did last year. But yeah, man, shout out to the Hornets, man. I thought it was dope to witness, man. So shout out to what they got going on. Oh, dang, bro, I'm just seeing y'all's thing. I didn't scroll down, but everybody's giving love to Surge and the picture, man. Yo, no, it was, bro. It's absolutely insane. So I like I said, bro, if you hear his story of like his near death experience and how he got into it, bro, it's chills. It's absolute chills, man. I got to bring him on to do an interview. Oh, great. Yes. I think he chose the right characters for the right people. Yes, he did. But yeah, shout out to, okay, so Everyday Gaming said, I'm a Celtics fan, so all we do is win championships. look, everyday gaming. We was cool, bro. We was cool until you said that because as a Lakers fan, now it's playing, bro. Like I still rock with you, bro. But as a Lakers fan, all we know is championships too, bro. All we know is championships too, bro. Trust me. All right, so let's continue on with the content. All right, so one thing before we get into some Panther stuff, I want to shout out two things. The first one is the WNBA All-Star Game. I got a chance to sit down and watch it. Look, man, this shout out to the WNBA for a few different reasons. One, I appreciate them getting some real like mainstream attention, and I see a lot more people, whether it be on social media, Twitter, IG, you name it, starting to really get into the WNBA. Whether it's for Caitlin Clark, for whatever, I'm just appreciative that these women are getting the respect that they so deserve. Because there's some ballers, and I picked this picture because Asia Wilson. Like Asia Wilson to me is the best player in the WNBA right now. But shout out to Nafisha Collier who won MVP. She's on the thumbnail. They were cooking, but it was something that they said that they wore that I want to kind of talk about and hint towards. So during warm-ups, pregame warm-ups, they had a shirt that said, "Pay us what you owe us." And there's been a lot of men, whether it be content creators, athletes, Twitch like streamers, whatever, and saying like, well, they are paying you what you owe because the WNBA right now is projected to lose 40 million, $50 million, blah, 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 blah. But no, I disagree wholeheartedly. Yes, the numbers may be what it is, but at the same time, what's the reason that we are watching the WNBA? Is it because of what the front office is doing, or is it really because of what the players are doing on the court, right? And if you look at the percentage of the percentage or the amount that they are receiving based off of what the WNBA is making, it is unfair. It's not right. If you look at some of their contracts of what these players are making versus what people are making on the day-to-day that are living a normal life, it's not fair. It's not fair, especially if you're comparing the NBA and WNBA. Oh, well, Carlo, the NBA's been around for X amount of years and this, that, and the third. I understand that. But at the same time, these women are still athletes, yo. Like these women are still athletes. They're still doing amazing things. And my hope is that the WNBA pays attention to what's going on and pays them what they deserve, right? At the end of the day, I seen a lot of people saying, "Well, bring the rim down, this, that, and the third." Bro, they're used to shooting at the rim that they're shooting at. If you just want to see them dunk, then I seen Shaq talk about it, bro. Like, I if they disagree, I'm going to disagree with them because of the fact that that's what they're used to. They've been playing on that rim for as long as they can remember. And yes, if you bring the rim down, there'll be more dunking, but the shots will be a little bit more off because they have to get used to it. But that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is my hope is that the WNBA fixes this and that they get the money that they so deserve. Because at the end of the day, people are starting to really recognize what these players are doing, and they deserve it, man. They deserve it. We are watching this because of the players, not because of what the front office and the WNBA business side is doing. So that's all I gotta say about that piece. Let's see. Everyday gaming. He said to everybody saying the WNBA isn't making money, they are making money, but they're going to make profit in the next 2 years because of the NBC deal, which is true. The money is coming. People just don't know, which is true. And my biggest thing is like you talk about it now before all that stuff happens. Like I don't care if you're going to make money now. Like at the end of the day, somebody's getting paid, right? And the WNBA players should be getting paid. So my hope is that it's time. It's time because the talent is steadily increasing. Like you're seeing rookies doing amazing things, right? And so they deserve it, man. They absolutely deserve it. And so my hope is that like if we can do that, then they don't have to play overseas and make money, right? We can keep them here and keep them healthy. All right, so let's get into another thing. The Saints, they lost a lot of people. For some reason, they seem like they're becoming the AARP team because they had a lot of old players, and the Honey Badger announced his retirement. And at first, I was happy because you know what I'm saying, I don't like the Saints. I don't like anybody in the NFC South except for my boys. But I'm big on giving people flowers while they can still smell them. And the Honey Badger, bro, before he got on the Saints, if you remember what he did at LSU and who he was, the reason why they named him Honey Badger, I think like part of like you feel it for your childhood of like watching this guy play, and what he did in college and who he was. Like, yes, he had injuries and things like that in the NFL, but like seeing good players like this leave, I think he was only like 32. I'm about to look it up. I think he was like 30, 32. Let's see. 33. I was close. 33 years old. But for what he did at that position, and how he was a game changer, I gotta give him his props, man. And shout out to my dog Nakari, man. One of the funniest people in the in the chat. Feel like he got old quick. Bruh, facts. I mean, time flies, man. I think that's how I feel like, I remember watching him when he first got to college. And now like seeing him like retire at 33. And for him, and he talked about it before in an interview after he said he was going to retire. He was like, it wasn't more so physical because he was like, I'm not closing the door on making a return. But for me, for him, it was mental. He just felt like he wasn't in it anymore. And in my head, I was like, well, if you went to New Orleans and saw the offense and the defense, I would have retired too. I would have retired too, bro. You went to the wrong team. But shout out to everything he got going on, man. I wish you, much success, man. At the end of the day, shout out to my dog, Marshawn Lynch. Take care of your chickens. Take care of your mentals, bro. And speaking of, this is a crazy transition, Carlo. This was great. Speaking of taking care of your mentals, man, Josie Jewell. Josie Jewell, man, has announced that he wanted to be released from the Panthers. Who would have thought, bro? I think one thing that I appreciate about the Panthers, I want to tangent real quick. One thing I appreciate about the Carolina Panthers is the fact that they try their absolute best unless they want it to come out. Keep things close to their chest. Because show of hands, who knew? Who knew that he had a concussion and was in a concussion protocol since week 18? I'll wait. Nobody, right? Like I did not know. And if you did, shout out to you. You locked in as a fan. But I had no idea that he was still in a concussion protocol. And that's scary. Because you remember what when week 18 is, and we went through a whole summer, OTAs, all that. And the fact that he failed his physical is very scary, right? Very scary at 30, right? So, man, shout out. Look, I hate that we have this, linebacker is one of the most, and I think, shout out to my dog, John. I think John said this in one of his videos I saw this week, was like, the linebacker is one of the most physical positions in the NFL, right? You're literally running full sprint towards a running back who's running full sprint, or running full sprint towards a 330-pound lineman who's going to try to stop you from getting the quarterback. Or you're running full sprint towards a wide receiver who's running full sprint in a route who's trying to catch the ball. Like, it's one of the most violent positions, man. And we've seen that a lot. We've seen a lot of injuries with our linebackers in the past, man. Like, reason Luke Kuechly retired. I mean, Thomas Davis had 2, maybe 3 ACL injuries for a lot of different reasons, right? So the fact that, like, bruh, here come Nakari, bruh. Nakari, bruh. You gotta chill, bruh. He said, I don't even think he knew. Bruh, you gotta chill, bro. But first off, one reason I want to shout out to Josie Jewell is the fact that, like, you gotta take care of your chickens, you gotta take care of your mentals, right? But he was not so selfish to the point where he was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna collect that check, this, that, and the third. He was like, no, release me to give another person an opportunity. And I saw a lot of people like freaking out. Low-key, I freaked out for a minute, but I was like, I need to hear more information at first. But when I heard that, I was like, yo, this is dope. And a lot of people are cooking the LB room, right? That means we got Christian Roseboom. That means we got Trevin Wallace, who are starting. And here's my thought, man. I'm gonna add a little twist to it. Add a little twist to this to change. I'm gonna try to change your perspective, right? We say that we want to be a developmental team. And if you think about teams in the history of the NFL who have been developmental teams, who have drafted well, developed well, like the New England Patriots, right? When Bill Belichick was there, like the Philadelphia Eagles, who are drafting well and developing well. It's cheaper to do that, and you don't have to spend as much money in free agency because of the fact that you are drafting young talent on rookie deals to be able to be a starter or a good role player or potential star, right? And so my hope is that like they seem for right now it seems like they're very excited about Christian Roseboom. They're very excited about Bam Martin Scott from South Carolina, who is an undrafted rookie. And they don't I haven't heard them talk about this other player, but I'm excited about Tuavisa Nomura, right? I call him the Timu Luvu, right? But I'm excited to see who's going to potentially step up in those positions. And if we want to be a developmental league, developmental team, that's what we will want. The answer is not always in free agency, especially at this day and age. I mean, not this day and age, but this time period when it comes to training camp. Unless you are a seasoned vet to the point of like, I'm talking about like the Justin Simmons who have proven themselves, well-proven seasoned vets, you are a free agent for a reason. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. You are a free agent for a reason because the free agents who are really the ones that people want to go after, outside of the seasoned, you know what I'm saying, you have proven yourself vets. You are a free agent for a reason because people are they're not so sure about you. So we just lost our starter, Josie Jewell. Why do we feel like the answer is in free agency? Why not see if the answer is actually on the roster? If we're saying, the biggest thing about what Dan Morgan was saying all offseason is that not only do we want to raise the ceiling, but we want to raise the floor in terms of depth on the roster, right? In terms of competition on the roster. So that means like from free agents to undrafted to even drafted people, right? Give them an opportunity first. Everyone said, including me, we need another safety. We need another safety beside Trevor Morick. We need somebody else. And Damani Richardson is shutting us all up. All people who say we need another, he's shutting us up. And that's a developmental piece. That's someone who is in their second year in the same scheme, and he is really showcasing that I can be that guy. And how much better is it having somebody on a 4-year rookie deal than paying a Justin Simmons or a Julian Blackmon, who everyone was upset about that went to the Saints, even though he got a 1 year, $5 million, but we just got somebody instead of that 1 year, lose that cap space. We got somebody on a rookie deal who's stepping up undrafted. So imagine what his contract looks like. Who's stepping up and showing that I could be that guy. That's what you want out of a developmental team. And if that's what Canales is talking about, I'm all for it, yo. I'm all for it. So my ask of Panther fans is just give it some time. Give it patience. We're in the second day of training camp. We got 3 weeks of this before the season starts. We got pregame games. We got all this. Pay attention for it. And shout out to Nakari. He said, watch out for Bam Martin Scott. His name ain't Bam for a reason. His name is Bam for a reason. Bro, I'm sorry. Yeah, Timu Luvu. That's what I call him, bro. Timu. I said that when he was undrafted, and I saw he picked up Tuavisi. I looked him up. I looked him up and I was like, oh, bro, this man, he reminds me of Luvu in a way, but I don't want to call him Luvu. So I was like, I got to give him Timu Luvu for right now because, like, and it's not even just because of his heritage and everything. They just play with the same type of speed, the same type of aggressiveness, energy, like that tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, tank is never empty. He's always going, going, going. So my hope is that he can show that during preseason, man. So that's how I feel about that particular piece. But one thing I want to mention is I saw this clip. From the Panthers. We're going to play it, and then I got some thoughts on it, man. So here we go.
Panthers fans, what's up? Austin Corbett here.
Brady Christensen here. What's up, Panthers fans? Adam Thielen here. What's up, Panthers Nation? Big Rob here. I'm tired as all get out. We miss y'all out here, man. So appreciate you guys. Miss you guys.
We miss you out here. It's not the same. Y'all bring the energy.
We'll see you soon. Be ready to bring that noise and beat a bunch of teams. Can't wait to see you August 2nd at FanFest, baby.
Man, what a guy. Keep pounding.
What a guy.
Panthers fans.
First off, man, shout out to Chorus, man. I had a chance to meet him. I went to a Taste of the Panthers, man. Really, I met both of these people, Austin Corbett and Brady Christensen. Really, really dope dudes. But do you really miss us, yo? Panthers, do you really miss us? Because if you do, I have a proposition for you, all right? Panthers, I'm going to click this up. So let me get right. Hello, Panthers. Carlo here, your friendly neighborhood content creator. I have an idea. That I want to propose to you, right? So I've been seeing a lot of social media posts that you've been posting around missing the fans and missing that particular interaction with the players. I have a thought for you. So you have your, credentialed media at some of these practices. And I saw this particular content creator say that he was going to be streaming an entire Houston, Texans practice, right? And he gets to interview CJ Stroud and all these different things after. I thought it was really dope. And I thought, you know what? Why can't the Panthers create a day for content creators? A content creator day. Now, granted, if you don't also want us to record or stream or anything, we could talk about that. But a day for Panthers content creators, it ain't even got to be me, right? Because I don't consider myself a Panther content creator. I'm just a content creator. I talk about everything. But for the Panther content creators, give them an opportunity to come to the practice, right? Pay attention to what's going on. And then also, if there's an opportunity for them to even interview some players after practice, and then bring this back to the fans, right? And you may think, well, why we have things going on from a Panthers social media and media perspective? Yes, but if you're thinking about some of the content creators that are out here who have a lot of subscribers and people really pay attention to what they're doing, the hype around this team right now screams that you should continue to build the hype around what the Panthers have going on. So why not have a content creator day? A day for content creators to come out, they can interact with credential media, right? Because some of the credential media have been on content creators' platforms talking about the Panthers, and give them an opportunity to come back, bring some knowledge, some excitement, some hype to the Panthers before FanFest. I think it's a win-win. I think it's dope. I think they should do a content creator day. Right. And what that looks like, that content creator can be in long standing with, they could be in good standing with the particular organization. You can put up the rules. You can even set up an application. If you need help, hit my line. I'm happy to set up an application for you. I'm happy to walk alongside you all for this. But I think it'd be a really, really dope idea to create a day for content creators to come and build the hype around this particular team. If the NFL has posted 14, darn near 20 posts for the Panthers, is written in the script. The hype around the Panthers is immense. And something along this, like, we should have content creators who are already in the city. I know content creators who will come down, whether drive down, fly down, for an opportunity like this. And how dope would it be to build the hype around FanFest and to create a content creator day where everybody can go back and disperse all the information and the hype around the Panthers and what they saw at this particular practice to the fans. Not only do you get new fans, but then all the people who have been here for all those years that we were not good, and they have continued to have hope, to have promise, to have energy around this team. It's a no-brainer, bro. It's a no-brainer, bro. That's how I feel about it, man. Look, he said, "Low Fred, look, my name is Low, and I approve this message." Okay, that's how I feel about it. I just thought about it, and I saw it, and I was like, "Yo, I have an idea." And look, I'm a chop this up, and if it don't sound good, I'm gonna do a whole nother one. But when I post this, y'all, I need y'all to tag the Panthers. I need y'all to really like spread this news, because it's not about, I don't care about me. I don't care about me in this particular sense, right? Because like I said, I'm a fan, but I don't consider myself a Panthers like content creator like a lot of other podcasts do. And there have been people around called like the PMPs, the One Carolinas, the Panthers on Tap, who've been doing this, the unnecessary bluntness, right? The What's Up Dougs, who've been around, I can go on, who've been around for years, who's been doing this for a long, long time, that really deserves an opportunity to get, quick little 5-minute interviews with players, but then also like they have a fandom who's been following them and listening to them for all those years, that deserve an opportunity to really interact with players, or just to see, like, yes, you don't have any fans. That's why I say you don't have to have a lot of them. But if you have credentialed media there standing in the hot sun, I guarantee you that one of these, if not a lot of these content creators, will stand in the hot sun as well to get content, to see what's going on with the team, and to disperse that hype amongst the fandom. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Now, look, I'm gonna get off my high horse. Let me read some of these comments that people are saying. The content creator cats, I feel you. Shout out to my dog Denzel. You, Dump, PNP, One Carolina, and many others would be so dope. It would be fire, man. It would be fire. Like I said, it ain't even got to be me, right? It don't even have to be. We got 375 creator subscribers. We new to this. If you got a certain subscriber level, I get it, man. But look, let me just help me help you. That's all I'm saying. I'm happy to organize it. If you know anything about me, bro, like I do my thing when it comes to behind the scenes stuff. So just look. Come on, Panthers. Personally, I think you can last 2 minutes getting. Nakari, bro. Hey, you talking about the 100 people gorilla, one gorilla thing, man? Ashawn and Turk, 2 minutes. I'm running. You feel me? I'm running. I'm gonna run. Ricky said, training camp is usually where fans hit the peak hype. And this year, to be honest, it's almost dropped off a bit from the offseason. I completely agree. And I think it's the lack of fan coverage and perspective. I agree, bro. I agree. Because I don't know, and I could be wrong. And I think I need to ask Vasha this. And I don't know if she'll answer this on the pod, and may have to be a text message or something. But when I think of credentialed media, I feel as though, actually, no, I'll take that back, because David Newton says whatever he wants. So I don't feel like you have to say a certain thing. But I feel as though like fans, like it's different from one thing that Vash I did say online on the pod is like, as a beat reporter, it's like an unspoken rule to be a fan of the team that you're reporting or the team that you are covering. So like that passion, that fandom doesn't necessarily really come out with a lot of beat reporters, because they have a job to do, right? They have a job to do. But as fans, as people who are content creators, you are a fan. You are locked in. You are all into whatever, the team has going on. Excuse me. So like, if you have a content creator day, what's his name? Neon, I think his name is. He's a big content creator he's a streamer. And he talked about like, yeah, the Houston Texans are bringing me out, and I'll be able to stream the entire practice, and I get to interview CJ Stroud and all these other players. I'm like, okay, Houston Texans is a big team, big market team. But why can't the Panthers do something like that? Like, I feel like the energy around content creators is kind of like it's on the up and up, especially with the blueprint and them having some content creators in there. I'm like, yo, they might have something here. Why not have a day? And like I said, if you want to take everybody's phones when they come in, like you at a, damn, I'm not gonna say what I was about to say, like you at some type of party or something, then drop it. Like, bro, keep the phones over there. And if you want us just to lock in or just to make sure, like, look, bro, it's only gonna be a few people, few content creators. You can pay attention to who's recording, who's not recording during the no recording sessions, right? Bro, I think that I promise you, social media team, it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for everybody. John said he'd slide on A-Sean. Bro, look. John, you my boy. I'm gonna call Cap on that one, bro. I want to call Cap on that one, bro. I don't know. A-Sean different, bro. He may look old, but that man is young. He's young. I don't know about that. Shout out to my dog Chad, my brother. He said win-win for everyone. Also shows that they really care about the fans. Yes, you talk about you want to do all this. Like, I think it'd be a really dope idea, and do it before all the other NFL does it. Like, you want some really cool, positive coverage for the Panthers. Have a content creator day and watch how the NFL takes over on that. And you could say you were the first ones to do it. You could say you were the first ones to do it, and I promise you, a lot of other people would jump on, man. He said, look, he said, I'm down to hear. Yes, you will, bro. Look, bro. He said, let God sort them out. You're going to sort out them bones after you go on that hill of it, dog. Let's see. Everyday gaming. Panthers aren't business savvy because having content creators promote the Panthers which makes the team bigger, which is true. If you want to be greedy, at least bring great content, which the Panthers are out of touch. So they've gotten better everyday gaming with the content. Like, I feel like the blueprints and everything have been a lot better. So I don't think they're like completely out of touch when it comes to creating content. I think they're doing a lot better with that piece. But I think that, like, utilizing, like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you have people out here who are speaking highly of the Panthers, who have a big fan base already, I think it'd be really cool for you to say something or show something, and have the content creators show something and say something. I think that just adds. It's just fuel to the fire. So, Nakari said, "Oh, that's neon though. There's tons of teams that will let a creator get that level of ass." Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think I've seen a lot of people like, yo, shut up. Like, I talk about Kai Cenat all the time. That's my dog, man. I rock with Kai and AMP and all that. If they want to do that, they would. I mean, bro, they just signed Dagon Travis Hunter to a tone deal for their fragrance brand. So you better believe if they wanted to go to Jacksonville to do something, they could if they wanted to. So yeah, I hope. Yeah, you know I was going with that. It was an Akari joke. I was trying to leave it alone. But yeah, I hope that they can really rock with this. I think it'd be a dope idea. I was low key excited about it, and I was like, yo, I wonder if people are gonna rock with it. And the fact that y'all rocking with it too says a lot for me. Says a lot to me. So, yo, they gotta make this happen, yo. They gotta make this happen. One thing I wanted to say earlier that I did not get a chance to say, that I at least want to take a moment to say is, man, yo, rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. If you know, you know, man. Growing up watching the Cosby Show, growing up watching Malcolm and Eddie and everything, man. I think it's just really, really sad to just see the way that happened, right? And so shout out to him, and I hope that rest in peace, and really just prayers out to his family, his wife, his children, man. It's a very tragic way to go out. And rest in peace to, it's a lot of people who have died, man. Like I said, death comes in threes sometimes, man. So I feel really bad for that. So I at least wanted to call out that, man, prayers to all the families who have lost somebody this week or in the past couple weeks. So I definitely want to call that out. So I know people are kind of going at Hulk Hogan for all the different like racial slurs he said. At the end of the day, his family still lost somebody. So prayers up for them. And then also Ozzy Osbourne as well. A legend when it comes to rock music, man. So prayers up to all of those people. Another Panther thing, another reason why I think you got to build on this hype is this particular tweet right here, yo. Ocho Cinco, man. Who would have thought? I saw this and I said, I got to talk about this, man. So, of course, you're going to have some haters, man. I don't even know who this dude is, man, but get up out of here. But Rutledge Witherspoon, who is probably some burner account, said, I can't even name 3 wide receivers on the Panthers. What are you talking about? And so nobody asked Chad Ochocinco Johnson to come to our rescue. But my dog jumped in and said, do your effing homework. He said, we got T-Mac, Xavier Leggett, Jalen Coker, Jimmy Horn, Adam Thielen. And then he came back and said, oh, yeah, don't forget we got Hunter Route You Up Renfro. But the biggest thing, the biggest word out of all he said is we. We got. I said, we? Well, okay. So, Mr. Ochocinco, it sounds like you're a fan. I've seen you a lot of times talk about keep pounding all this stuff on Nightcap, right? Here's my other request. I just said something about the Panthers. Now I got a request for you, Chad. It sounds like you're a Panthers fan. I need you to join the Panthers podcast. I need you to join the Panthers podcast. I would love to talk to you about being a wide receiver. It ain't got to be my podcast. It could be your choosing of a Panthers podcast so we can talk about these wide receivers. We can talk about you. You've shown support for about 2 to 3 years now, and we appreciate it. And it sounds like you're a fan. But to prove that fandom, Chad, we need you on the Panthers podcast, man. The fans want to hear from you. The fans want to hear what you want to talk about on one of our platforms. Yes, you said it on Nightcap, but it's nothing like being on a Panthers platform and talking about the Panthers and what you see and the excitement that you have for this team this year. So what you going to do, Chad? You going to pull up? Or you going to sit on Nightcap and talk about it? Look, man, one thing I know about Chad, man, he going to pull up and somebody call him out. We calling you out, Chad. Pull up on the Panthers platform. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got to say about Chad. We're going to clip that one up, too. Because we need to hear from Chad, man. I appreciate your support on Twitter. I appreciate you showcasing that you know your knowledge. You've been doing your Googles. You've been paying attention to what we got going on. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. All right. Dog, I got so much I want to talk about, but this one's hot. And we got to talk about this, man. So last week, we talked about the Cam Newton, Ryan Clark situation, man, right? Cam calling Ryan out because of, Cam started with saying something around Jayden Daniels. And then Jayden Daniels came back and said, he said something about Jayden Daniels. And then Ryan Clark came back and was like, don't disrespect or don't talk down on him. You could have said that he wasn't going to have a sophomore slump. You could have said that he's going to have a great year, this, and the third. And so I said my piece about it. But then it started getting real, real interesting, right? So Ryan Clark came back on ESPN and said some things. Let's check it out.
Do you feel though that response is disrespectful to Jalen Hurts?
We have to stop allowing people to have excuses to disrespect Jalen Hurts. Cam recently said I was playing things safe, so let me cook for a second here, right? So there's different ways to look at it. Historically and presently, Jalen Hurts is the top 10 quarterback, and you're going to look at it different ways. You're going to look at talents above X's and O's, the ability to help your team win, and then to me, it's proximity to the GOAT. Let's take Cam Newton, right? What made Cam Newton great? He could be powerful in short yardage and goal line. He could extend plays with his legs. He was this big physical presence. So is Jalen Hurts, right? Cam Newton went to the playoffs 4 times. Jalen Hurts been to the playoffs 4 times already. Cam Newton went to 3 Pro Bowls. Jalen Hurts already been to 2. Cam Newton was an MVP, and he got to the Super Bowl, and he forgot to bring his cape. When Jalen Hurts is going to the Super Bowl, he's brought his cape, and he's also brought the Avengers with him, who are not even in D.C. They in Marvel, right? And so now let's think about this. Okay, let's go to winning. Eli Manning is going to be a Hall of Famer. Why is Eli Manning going to be a Hall of Famer? Because he had 2 epic runs to the Super Bowl. And in those Super Bowls, he played great, and he beat the GOAT, not only of that time, but the GOAT of the era, right? But he's only been to 4 Pro Bowls. He never got an MVP vote. He was never an All-Pro. Jalen Hurts has done all of those things. Right now, let's look at Jalen Hurts in this time. In the Super Bowl, how do we measure every quarterback in the AFC? What is your proximity to Patrick Mahomes? You know the 3 quarterbacks that's beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs? I know who they are. They're Joe Burrow, they're Tom Brady, and they're Jalen Hurts. And not only did Jalen Hurts beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl, he outplayed him in the Super Bowl. And so now, here is what I think. If you don't want to count Jalen Hurts in your top 10, I have one question. Who's in the top 10? And how do you get there? And the last thing is this, right? Cam Newton is using excuses to not put Jalen Hurts in the top 10. Excuses are tools of incompetence that build monuments of nothingness, and those who major in their usage are non-achievers. The ring that Jalen Hurts is walking around with says top 10 to me. Tell Cam to show you his. You feel
Okay, so we got real personal. We got real personal right there. We got real personal. And I was like, yo, okay, so you took a little offense, my dog. You took a little offense with what Cam said. And if you know anything about Cam Newton, bro, if you know anything about Cam, Cam ain't gonna back down. I don't care if it's like physically back down or mentally or verbally, right? We saw what he did at one of his 707 camps with those two dudes that tried to tag him, man. He's not gonna back down. Here's what Cam said to Ryan Clark afterwards, and then we're going to get into it.
That we want to attack the messenger, Ryan Clark. Okay, let's pull up your stats. Second team All SEC, we cannot relate. Undrafted in 2002, we cannot relate. Then you have one Pro Bowl in 2011, we cannot relate. So if you want to unlock Petty Cam, and everything that Cam Newton has ever said on this 4th and 1 show has always been backed by merit and logic, but some way, shape, form, people keep attacking Cam, the person, or why he didn't jump on the fumble, why he didn't do this, or comparing and contrasting. So when I compare and contrast you guys' statistics and Dan Orlovsky, never mind. But as we keep going and we keep unlocking and keep poking the bear, and y'all want to play this game, I can that we want.
All right. I don't know what that weird part is. What was that? All right, boy. Whew. Where do I begin? All right, so I think the biggest thing out of all of this is this feud. I guess I can call it a feud now. This feud has become less on what the message truly was at first, and now it seems as though it's merely more of attacking the messenger than anything, right? It went from Cam having a opinion on Jalen Hurts. Now, granted, do I think his opinion was right? No. But at the end of the day, what I say to myself is, I'm just a fan. I didn't play the sport. You know what I'm saying? I didn't play football at a professional, at a top tier elite level like a Cam Newton or a Jalen Hurts. I didn't get a chance to do that, right? I wasn't a quarterback by any means. So I understand that he's seeing it from a different perspective, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, as a sports analyst that either has their own platform or is paid by a big sports platform by way of ESPN, your job is to have an opinion on something, whether it is popular or not, right? So I think it's interesting because of the fact that Ryan Clark, who I've said it, I like Ryan Clark. Just from just who he is and all those different things, right? Yes, some of his takes I don't necessarily agree with, but anyway, he had an issue with that, right? And it's his opinion on having an issue with that. I think the part about it that gets interesting is the fact when they start to take personal jabs, and then it starts to really showcase: did you even like this person in the first place? Right? Is this a way for you to really hate on who this particular person is because of their take on a sports thing? And what Cam said last week, which we talked about, is like, as a sports analyst, you're supposed to critique the sport, right? You're not going to think that every player in the NFL is a great player. You're going to critique them on their performance. That's just what it is. And if you come out and say, hey, you hope that Jayden Daniels doesn't get a sophomore slump, just because of the fact that Ryan Clark, you know Jayden Daniels on a personal level because your son played with him at Arizona State before he went to LSU. I understand that. You understand and you know Jayden Daniels on a personal level. I get that. But at the end of the day, let's keep it strictly to what the message was. Let's keep it strictly to what we were talking about. But the fact that you're going to start to now pull people's resumes to then say you didn't do this, you didn't do that, that's to me when it gets lame. That's when it gets lame. And now we're just doing this for clicks and to go viral. for whatever reasons you want to, but I was just like, yeah, like come on. You know what I'm saying? Like now you're saying he didn't have a cape. Now you're saying, oh, you didn't jump on a fumble. And then now, Cam, you're calling out, you know what I'm saying? You didn't get this, you didn't get that, all those different things. And then also, I think the other piece that you think about the Super Bowl, like I think a lot of people have the argument of like, do you have a ring? Especially when it comes to NFL, like, you don't have a ring, no, you don't have a ring, no. I think like, yes, Ryan Clark had a good point about like performing in the Super Bowl. He talked about how Jalen Hurts outperformed Patrick Mahomes and all those different things. But at the end of the day, and this is probably one of the reasons I love football so much, is that it's a team sport. It's not an individual sport, right? And so, yes, you could do well in the Super Bowl, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your team's going to win the Super Bowl. It takes all the other players, offense and defense and special teams, to play well for all of you to actually win the game. So at the end of the day, like, yes, you can call somebody out for not having a ring, but let's look at the entire team. What that team look like, right? And so when we're looking at Jalen Hurts, yes, Jalen Hurts played well in the Super Bowl, but so did his defense, so did his running back, so did his receivers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they all played well. It's a team sport. He had the best team that year. Now, do I think that Jalen Hurts deserves the shade that he's been thrown? No. I think Jalen Hurts is a really good football player. I think that he is quiet and he's not as outspoken as a lot of other people are, which is probably why people don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts just keeps to himself, right? But I think he definitely doesn't get a lot of credit that he deserves. But at the same time, like everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And so for it to get personal, man, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. I just hate that it's getting really personal now. Instead of like sticking to what Cam said in the beginning, which was, hey, it all started with the Jalen Hurts and the Jayden Daniels thing. Then it got to the Jalen Hurts piece about him not thinking he's top 10. Now people think he's hating on him. I don't think he's hating on him. I think that he's just saying his take, whether you agree or disagree. But he has a platform to say whatever he wants to say. He owns it. He can say whatever he wants to say. But I think people are not starting to take it personal. And that's the part when it just gets a little lame for me, man. I don't know. All right, so let's get into some comments. Love you on the zone, bro. Look, I'm moving forward, bro. I'm locked in, man. I'm locked in, man. I got a lot of ideas and a lot of things popping up, man. I'm locked in. I appreciate you, Ricky. Let's see. So everyday game, Cam didn't disrespect anybody. These dudes just got in their feelings, and Cam said these dudes keep talking to him. And look, bro. One thing Cam said, he always gonna keep it funky, bro. Like he's not gonna back down to nobody, bro. I don't care what it is. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see like two bigger media personalities do this, man. Hopefully they can figure it out. I would love to see them do a Funky Friday and talk about it on whoever's platform. You know what I'm saying? He going to Pivot, he going Funky Friday or whatever, and just talk it out, man. Because I think this is all a misunderstanding, man. But who am I? Who am I? Nakari said, put Hurts on the 2015 team. We may be sneaking to the wild card. Put Cam on the Eagles, and they go undefeated for 2 seasons. I mean, look, prime Cam, he was nothing to be played with, bro. He was nothing to be played with. Be ready said, to be fair, Cam out of line because no way Hurts is in top 5. I agree, bro. And I think the interesting thing about it, be ready, is like I think that some people, I'm not saying anybody in the chat, you know what I'm saying, but some people think that whatever people say on their platform is Bible. And it's not, bro. Everybody has an opinion. There's been plenty of things that I've said on this podcast here that is not true or have proven, later on to be false, right? Everyone's not going to be right 100% of the time. But we're entitled to our opinion, and we're going to say our thoughts because this is a platform that we've created. And I feel as though that's what Cam was saying. That's his fault. I mean, that's his thoughts. Another thing, like a lot of people didn't agree with his game manager, game changer list, right? Some of them are proven to be true, and some people outperformed their list or wherever they were placed on his list. So I think it just comes in, like, at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you can take it or leave it. Like, you can listen, but it doesn't mean that you have to agree with it, right? And if you disagree, that's cool. You can go on your platform, just like how I'm doing, and say whether I agree or disagree. But at the end of the day, you don't have to attack the messenger. And I think that's the piece that we are forgetting. You don't have to attack the messenger. The fact that now the message is lost. The message is so lost. Now you're gonna go, well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, that's just how I feel about it. And bro, first off, shout out to my dog John. He said, "Lo, you smoked this take, bro. Unbiased and balanced." My man, bro. I appreciate you, bro. I just happened to see that today, man. I was like, and then I'm not saying who's wrong, who's right, bro. It shouldn't. We don't have to get to this, bro. Like, it doesn't have to get to this point where like people are starting to get messy, and so now people are forgetting all about Jalen Hurts and all about who's gonna say what next, right? This, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no Kendrick and Drake beef, bro. Like, you're talking about sports, bro. We talk about sports, bro. Like, it shouldn't get this messy, man. And now Ryan, I'm like, Ryan, like, you have a lot of interesting, good intellectual takes on sports, but now in 2025, in the big 2025, we're remembering you for your beefs and your feuds and getting involved with people, bro. From the RG3s to the Cams, like, you're getting into all these battles between people, and not more so because all the really cool analogies and the way that you really message your thoughts around ESPN. That's one thing I appreciate about him. One is because his questions during pivot, he always asks very good, thoughtful questions, which I appreciate. And I've like, when I'm interviewing people, like I had a chance to interview Rev Run, like I take in like, how can I make this interview more so of a conversation and disarm this particular person for them to make them feel comfortable and to ask questions I feel as though listeners are wanting to hear. And then also the way that he contextualizes his thoughts on ESPN around like having really cool, very thoughtful or relevant examples. But now people are forgetting about all of that. How I just talked about Ryan, nobody's thinking about that right now. Everybody's thinking about what you said about RG3 and how you attacked him and how you're going at Cam. And Cam, bro, I understand like you are trying to create this avenue for yourself where you are trying to showcase that I don't need any big media behind me. I don't need an ESPN. I don't need all that backing. I can do this all by myself, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to, apologize for your take. But just all I'm saying is just don't try your best, bro, not to take it personal, man. This is coming from a fan. Like, we don't want to see the viral back and forth. We just want to hear about sports. That's what we watch it for, and to hear your takes on it, man. That's all I gotta say about it. That's it. That's all I gotta say about it, man. Let me see what Everyday Game said. We don't always agree, but I'm never going to disrespect anybody on here because it's not personal. Which is the name of the daggone episode tonight, man. Don't take it personal, man. Like, just because you're not going to agree. One thing that I heard somebody say, right, at my job, and I loved it. It might have been, I can't remember who said it, but they were talking about like having disagreements in the corporate space, right? And they said, one thing that people have to understand is when you disagree, doesn't necessarily mean that you disagree with the person. You just disagree with their thought. And if you can break it down to let people understand that, hey, I don't necessarily agree with your thought here. I love you as a person, or I rock with you as a person, but I disagree with the thought here, then you can have a very good intellectual conversation, right? And I hope that people can get to that point where if people disagree with you and they disagree with your thought, doesn't necessarily mean that they don't like you or they don't rock with you or they think that everything that you say that comes out of your mouth is wrong. And people have to be healed from that. People think that if somebody disagrees with them or what they say, that's an attack on their personality and their character, and they just go ballistic. And people got to be healed from that, yo. They got to be healed from that. Everybody's not going to agree with you. Everybody's not going to agree with my takes or what I do or even how I run this particular podcast. People are not going to agree with that, right? People are not going to agree the fact that I'm like, hey, I want to start streaming and I want to do. People are not going to agree with that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't rock with me or disagree with my character or my personality or how I carry myself. They just may not necessarily agree with my thought, my idea, or the decision I created, and that's okay. That is okay. You're not going to please everybody. You're not going to be able to please everybody, and we have to get better at understanding that and getting that in our heads that you're not going to be able to please everybody and everybody's not going to agree with you, and it's okay. But as you make more money, as you have this status and you think that everybody's listening, you get these subscribers, I can understand how that perspective gets jaded. I can understand it. But I hope that they can get back to reality here. So, look, we're at 9:30. We're over an hour and a half. So it's a few things I wanted to do. I'm going to save it for next week. But it's a few things I want to do, but I'm going to let y'all know about it so that y'all can prepare and have this conversation with me. All right. So, Shaw's back next week. So we're going to do logo versus player. That was a big one. People love logo versus player last time. So we're going to do logo versus player next week. We're also going to do the starting lineup. So the top 5 fast food fries. All right. And it doesn't mean that the fast food restaurant has to be in Charlotte. It doesn't mean that. It can be fast food, whatever, but it has to be fast food. Like drive through, you can get the fries fast. All right. So top 5 fast food fries. And then also I've seen a lot of conversations around who was the worst coach, Frank Reich or Matt Rule. And so I want to do a deep dive on that because I know a lot of people are going to automatically say one name and it might not necessarily be the truth. So we're going to do a deep dive around who we think was the worst coach and the reasons why next week. So we're going to talk about that next week. That's going to be the Panther things, of course, with like training camp news, all the different things around, pop culture. We're going to talk, we're going to do all that. But those are like some things I wanted to do tonight that I didn't get a chance to do. And also I didn't get a chance to do a deep dive on Don't Tap the Glass, the Tyler Creator album. I don't want to do a full album review because it was 10 songs, 30 minutes. But look, bro, Nakari, bro. You ain't gotta do it. I'm not doing a vid. We just talking about this on the pod next week. But these are parts that people forget about Nakari. People forget about that. People automatically think about record. So we're gonna do a breakdown because I saw a lot of people saying Frank Wright was the worst coach. This and the third. I just want to break it down, bro. I just want to break it down. We're not gonna do a video. We're gonna do a live next Thursday. But yeah, we got to talk about it, man, because people tend to forget, man. People got recency bias. People have recency bias. People have the "what have you done for me lately" type of mentality, and we got to break it down and showcase like it's more than just record when it comes to organizations, man. So we're gonna talk about it. But one thing I definitely want to say before I close, I said this a few weeks ago, and I want to say it again, is that I am going to be starting streaming on Twitch. This is something that I'm going to do just myself. So, what I'm saying? I said it before, like Shaw got PNP, Fast I got Quick Blitz. And I was like, yo, it'd be really cool to like have my own thing where I can like really listen to music, vibe, and do reviews. I'm a gamer too. I love gaming. So like play games and it's going to be a vibe, man. So make sure, man, if y'all like Twitch, if y'all have Twitch, make sure y'all come up, follow me. I just started. I got 30 followers already. We haven't even streamed the first episode yet. It's not gonna be an episode. It's just gonna be streams. We haven't streamed yet, but we got 30, which is pretty dope, man. So look, if you like the way that this particular podcast is, the production, the vibe, I've been cooking in the lab with a little bit with this, and it's gonna be, look, bro, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so dope, man. In terms of vibe, like I got a logo coming up. I can't share who's creating the logo yet, but it's a prominent figure in the Charlotte region, I guess, who's cooking up a logo for it. So make sure y'all just come rock with me, man. If you love music, if you love just just chatting and entertainment, if you love gaming, all those different things, man, I promise you will not be disappointed. It's gonna be a vibe, man. So make sure you pull up to go to Twitch, type in Made for More. You should see that particular picture on the profile, and just make sure you follow up, man, and tell everybody it's gonna be lit, man. So I appreciate y'all always supporting me and this community, man. Y'all are so dope, bro. I love pregame.
Hey, say gang.
I love y'all, man. So I appreciate y'all always supporting me and letting me try new things. Letting me try new things, man. So the streaming thing, man, is just it will not keep me in the box of like playing music. Like there's sometimes where I want to do like album reviews live, so y'all can see my initial reaction of how I listen to music and all those different things. I can't do that on YouTube because of copyrights. So the fact that now I can like, oh, new music drop, I'm playing it live. I'm gonna react to it, tell y'all my initial feelings of it. We can listen to it together. We can do all those different things. I can play my songs while I'm over here vibing and dancing, and I can't do some of those things on YouTube. And then also gaming, like, bro, sometimes I just go sit there and play a game, and y'all can tell me what game I should play, and we can do all those different things, man. So it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope, and I can do it for a longer time. Like podcasts, I don't want to do a podcast for like 2-3 hours. It's a long time, and sometimes people are just listening, driving to wherever. I just want to kind of keep it as short as I can. With streams, I can do it longer, and I can do it whenever I want. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, make sure y'all pull up. Yo, that's the best. Yellow diamonds look like pee. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I still say that to this day. So like I can listen to those, and y'all can let me know what y'all listen to. And then I have some games. I have games, y'all, that we can play where y'all give me a prompt and I try to find a song that matches. Like, bro, I got so many different ideas. So make sure y'all just pull up, man. I'm not gonna spill too much, but just make sure y'all pull up. But it's been real, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all pulling up to the pregame, man. This was fun. This was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna clip up that Panthers thing, man, because they gotta listen, y'all, and the chat piece. So make sure y'all. I'm gonna try to either post it tonight or tomorrow. Make sure y'all, help me out with that. Hopefully, we can get some information out of it. Hopefully, they listen. Hopefully, they pull up and allow some of our content creators to actually go and do that. I think that'd be really fire. But it's been real. I'll see y'all next Thursday, 8:00. Shad will be back. Vashti will be in and out for a while. She's extremely busy, but make sure y'all go support her. She got a cool installment of rookies for training camp, man. She's gonna be cooking up something really nice, y'all. She ain't playing around. So y'all make sure y'all go support her, support Quick Blitz, support Pens on Tap, support PNP, support my dog John One Carolina, man. It's enough room for everybody to eat. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.